Terenza returns. Here I am again, back with a new video. Today I'm reporting some news you probably haven't heard unless you run in the same circles that I do. The game that you're seeing behind you is none other than The Fallen Angels, as it was supposed to be called when it was released in the States, had it been released in the States. The Japanese name, of course, for this game is Daraku Tenshi, which means fallen or degradation angel. Anyway, so Zero Dev and City Connection, which are two companies I had never heard of before today, released an announcement at Mikado Arcade in Japan about 3 or 4 days ago that they are bringing out a completed edition of Daraku Tenshi / The Fallen Angels, whatever you want to call it, that they're going to basically finish the game. Now, this game was released in 1998 by a team called the Steel Hearts. They were under Psycho or Psycho, and I'm not really sure if Psycho was just the publisher and the team was separate or how exactly that thing worked. But the Steel Hearts basically put out Daraku Tenshi in an unfinished state and then disbanded, and most of the people on that team went to work for SNK and work on the King of Fighters series. The producer of the game, Mitsuo Kodama, he works for Capcom now, and he does several projects for them. You can go to his Twitter now and you'll see several Capcom related things posted there, but also some Daraku Tenshi stuff has been posted within the last few months, and it's just a further sign that this thing is becoming a reality. So apparently, like I said, I know next to nothing about these companies. Apparently they're kind of focused in Japan. They're very small, a startup indie type thing, but they basically have the rights to all of Psycho's old games, including Daraku Tenshi. And amazingly, they decided that they're going to finish the game and release it. And so what does that mean by finish it? Well, if you followed my works and my channel and things over the past few years, you'll know that this game is very incomplete. It was supposed to have story cutscenes. It was supposed to have dialogue. All kinds of stuff was supposed to be in this game, including 4 characters who they made the sprites for, but never finished and put them in the game. They're supposed to finish all that. They said they're going to put the 4 missing characters, that's Snake, Lapis, Sid, and Jimmy, the naked one. They're going to put those guys in the game, give them movesets, finish it out. They said they're going to start in the arcade, and then later on it's going to be ported to console. There was unfortunately no time frame for this. All of this information is coming from Japanese Twitter, and then several websites in America picked up on it. So like Niche Gamer had it, and Gamatsu and a few others picked this up because this is a very obscure title. It has a very hardcore community and a hardcore fan base following here in the United States and the West and Europe. And I'm just it's been an honor to be a part of and try my best to be a leader in that community, running a forum and helping out in the Discord and those sorts of things. But as you can tell, I'm just kind of blown away that this is happening. This is a 20-year-old unfinished Japanese game that very few people know about, even though it's definitely a hidden gem, to be sure, if you like fighters. And it's coming back, and it's being finished, and that is amazing news. And so I wanted to report it here on the channel. Like I said, unfortunately right now there is no release date, there is no timeline, there's no information about a potential console release. We don't even know if the thing will make its way to the United States. I will tell you that the team that is making this has apparently been part of porting several old Psycho games to the Nintendo Switch. So if I had to guess, at some point this is going to end up on the Switch. If not, like the PlayStation eStore and that type of things. It just depends on what they want to do. Fortunately, this generation, it's pretty easy, I think, to make a Japanese region account on those systems and access the Japanese eStore. So hopefully, with any luck, we will be able to somehow at least buy this game and get it on our consoles when it comes out, if it turns out to be Japan only. I did tweet one of the developers and ask him if the project would eventually come to American consoles. That was about a day or so ago, and I have not heard back, so I don't know if he will answer me or not. I don't know if he could understand my Japanese. Who knows? I like to think it was good enough that he could at least could have understood what I meant, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just kind of ranting and raving at this point because all I know to tell you is that Daraku Tenshi is coming back and it's being finished. So the possibilities are endless. We don't want to get our hopes up too far. as far as the story content and all that. But at least we will get to, hopefully in the future, play as the 4 missing characters and figure out what they're about and what their story is. Like I said, I'm just absolutely blown away. I'm dumbfounded by this news. Now, all that being said, I also wanted to give you an update on another project that you were probably wondering about if you're interested in this vid. And that is the Obscure Gaming Daraku Tenshi Part 2 video that I said I was going to make way back a year ago when I released the first video. What happened to that video? Why haven't I released that? Well, I'll tell you. Here's the gist of it. So I released that video, and shortly after I found out some more Daraku Tenshi information. And what I found was, using the Wayback Machine, I found the website of one of the developers that worked on the game. And through his website, I found a few new things, like some stage graphics that were animated that are not out there right now. I found the storyboards, which we already had, and just a lot of background about the game and some info about the missing characters and what their story was and those sorts of things. It's really fascinating stuff. A ton of stuff. Unfortunately, just not enough stuff that you could easily talk about in a video and get it in maybe, 7 or 8 minutes. It would have been a fairly in-depth thing. And unfortunately, all of it was completely in Japanese. I do speak Japanese. My Japanese reading is terrible because I haven't studied it proper in probably coming up on 6 or 7 years now. So I had to rely on just what I remember and Google Translate and a few other things. So there's a lot of information there that could be gleaned from somebody with more skill than me, but I was able to pick up a lot of really interesting stuff, And so my plan was I was going to contact the developer of the game, and Mitsuo Kodama. I was going to send him a message with 10 questions that I had Glitterberry, who, if you've watched my Zelda Secret Ocarina retrospective videos, you remember Glitterberry. Excellent Japanese speaker, one of the best as far as video game beta and Japanese. She's been around a long time, and she does good work, and she's always willing to lend a hand for somebody who's trying to find information out about a beta or unreleased game. So I got her to help me translate some questions for Mr. Kodama, who directed the game, and I found contact for him. I sent him the questions, he saw them, and he didn't respond. And so this has been several months back, and he has not responded to my questions. He is working for Capcom now, so I don't know if it was just overwhelming, or he just forgot about it, or he's not allowed to answer questions about his past work, or maybe he even knew these guys were talking about bringing Daraku Tenshi back. I don't know. I'm not saying it's because I sent him that message that Daraku Tenshi is coming back, but I'm just joking, guys. Don't quote me on that. That's a joke. Anyway, I had planned to do the interview with him, get the information from the developer website, and put it all into this giant expose video, which was going to be the greatest Daraku Tenshi expose ever on the internet. And it was just going to be wonderful, and you were all going to love it and like it, and people will come from far and wide to watch it. But when he didn't respond, that really took the wind out of my sails, to be honest. I just kind of lost my inspiration. It kind of got me down. I kind of lost motivation. Other video projects that I wanted to do came up, and so I started working on those. And just other things got in the way, and before I knew it, it had been several months, and it hadn't happened. So that being said, I don't think I'm going to make that video, but I will give you this. So Glitterberry, when she made the questions for me, she said one of the ways I could pay her back was if I cataloged any information that I found on the cutting room floor. And if you don't know what the cutting room floor is, you need to look it up. I'll put a link below. But it's a website where they catalog beta and unused content from video games so that developer work is not lost. It's very fascinating stuff if you love games. If you love obscure games and trivia, it's doubly exciting. So I told her I would make a page for the game and put the information I found on there. And so that's what I did. I created the page. I'm going to link it in the video. And if you're waiting for part 2 of that Daraku Tenshi Uncovered video, you need to go read that page, because most of the information that would have been in that video is there. And the great thing about the cutting room floor is anyone can make an account and start editing. So if you want to go to the website via the Wayback Machine and translate stuff and find information yourself, you can do it. You can do it, and then you can go put it on the website. So it's there. So like I said, I'm going to put that below. If you're waiting on that video, stop waiting and go read the cutting room floor page on the Fallen Angels. With the game coming out officially this time, I've also revamped our forum. It was previously hosted by Envision Free, and then Tapatalk vaulted out. And so I kind of went back in and got my old admin account going again, and I've revamped the forum and changed the layout, and I've condensed and I've made new sections for the game as we know it today and the one that's coming out. I'm sorry I don't have more concrete info on the new version to tell you, but rest assured I'll be keeping up with it, and as soon as I see something, however small it is, I'll make a new video and post the information about it. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Please, please, please check out the links below in the video if you're interested in Daraku Tenshi or the history of it, or if you're interested in the full release that's upcoming. Check out those links. I think you won't be disappointed. Thanks so much, all the guys that support me in the Daraku Tenshi community and everything, for you guys' support over the years. The old guard, the ones we don't see anymore, Thor, Merlin, Clear Sky, all of you guys that help out. Thank you so much. So this is Terensu signing off. I appreciate everyone.